Hey, what's up, guys? Sergeant Munchkinator here, and today I'm gonna be building a basic house. So I'm gonna time lapse all this, and then I'll do a walkthrough later of the house later. So, the materials I'm gonna be using is I like building with wood. I love using different colors of wood and using wood logs. Logs and stuff, and the planks. Also glass. I like a lot of glass in my house, but sometimes it's hard for me to forge it all together, so I'm gonna try. And then I also like having basements. I think I'm pretty good at basements, so I'll be time lapsing all of that, and then you guys can watch. And then after I'm done, we can walk through it together. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm building these logs to mark the corners of the house. And I like doing this because it really helps define. I like having the corners being logs because it really helps define the house. It makes the edges more visible. So I'm having a bit of trouble doing that, but eventually I ended up getting around to making it. I had to destroy a few columns, and I really wanted to go for like this kind of L shape almost, but as it turned out, it didn't really become an L, but it was like I wanted this hallway for the door. So once you can walk through, I don't want it to be a complete square, like just one big chunk or like a one big rectangle. But eventually I got the design, the frame correct, so I started filling in the walls. And walls are a really important thing because to get the right color. Because if you don't get a wall the right color, and it all looks kind of like one big blob of the same color. So getting the walls right, it took a while to find a good color, but I found it. I cut out all that, but I got right color, finished the walls, and now I did a bit of the door, and I put in glass there that I would eventually remove, but because it just didn't fit with my design, which I was working on while I was building it, which was like being inspired by by a witch's hut. So going from there, I started making the floor, and I just changed it to noon because I can't really work in the dark. So I was experimenting with the floor design. I tried using some stuff from the mod pack that I have, which will be going out public. I'll talk more about that at the end. Um, but I decided to go for this contrast from like dark to light being the floor. So I feel these are dark oak planks, I think, and I fill in the entire floor. Um, just examine it. It looks kind of good. So fill in the doors and then get some stairs going just to make it look kind of nice. And then I will start filling in the roof right here. And this part, oh, never mind. I was doing the glass actually. So I thought the glass came out pretty well. The windows, they were well placed and really got nice views of the entire place, of the entire island that I was building this on. The views from those windows were really landscapey, and that was the kind of thing that I was going for. And then I start on the roof now, and I was gonna make it the same color as the floor, but that was just way too dark. So I ended up making the same color as the walls, making the floor basically the contrast of the entire house. So I'm filling this in, and it's going pretty well. And then I start placing torches, and I'm gonna place the torches on each side of the window, just to give it looks nice. It doesn't look like the torches are random, which I really don't like. And I had a torch on that window, but on that wall, which had no window. But I ended up removing that torch, and I put a window there instead, just to keep it consistent. So I turned it to night to put the torches on the outside of the house, and I put 2 along each window. So now I'm starting on the hardest part, which is the roof. So I'm thinking of using stairs for the roof design, but as I realized, I tried to build it out a little. I was deciding between two colors, the acacia or the dark oak, and I decided on the dark oak, and I want to build it up a little, so I make this little frame, and then I realized I don't have to have the entire thing, so I break all that, and then fill it a bit, and then I finish that frame, and I look at it from the outside, and I realize that it looks way too big, it looks way too perky. So I get rid of all that and I switch to stone slabs. And I was looking at some designs before I started this, and there was one design of like a modern house, and that used stone slabs as the roof. And I didn't know what I was going for, so I was going maybe for this modern design. But then it hit me, like I could make it like a witch's hut and have this like layered top, which like if you play vanilla Minecraft you would have seen at some point in your travels of Witch's Hut, and it has this really nice roof that I really love, and it has like these slab layers that really make it look mysterious and almost beckoning and flat. Flat is a really, I don't know, flat really scares me. Flat always makes things like boring but cool at the same time. And that's the kind of look that I'm going for. I start layering these slabs on each other. It's really annoying. Slabs are really annoying because if you get two on each one, it turns into a brick, and then you have to break both of them. But then I realized I double did that, so I break all that. And then I put on one more final layer, finishing the roof. And then, oh yeah, that mob is from my mod pack, so you would be seeing really weird things around. So I'm just looking at it from the outside. Take out that glass, like I said, and I don't know which wood to change it to, so I change it to the dark one, and I change it back to the walls, because that makes more sense. And then what I like to do on a lot of my houses is take out the bottom line. Taking out the bottom line, and then I'm gonna replace it with cobblestone here. Oh, and I buried a skeleton. I'll come back to him later. Maybe like when I'm finishing up this house, because this is gonna be a 3-part series, and I'll get into that later too. I'll get into a lot of stuff after I finish the house, but I replaced the bottom with cobblestone. Okay, so now that the house is done, time to talk about a few things. And the first thing is that this house will be called the Witch's House. And that'll also be the name of the series. And going into the second thing, this will be a series. The Witch's House, the house, the heist, okay. So basically, I'm going to be making houses, and each house will take up 3 parts. This first house, the Witch's House, will be taking 3 parts. The first part being this part, the frame of it, the entire outside, the looks of it. And the second part will be the interior, the furnishing, the furniture. And then the third part would be the garden and the driveway and maybe a pool or something, or a dock going out, because these are all a bunch of islands and they look good too. And the next thing is that I'm actually playing on my mod pack, so you might be seeing a couple things that are out of the norm of vanilla Minecraft. That's because there are a bunch of mods on this. And it's there, and yeah. And the last thing is that please make sure you comment on whether you like the house or not, or what I can change the next episode, because there's a lot I could change. I don't know how you guys might feel about this. So if you guys like it or you don't like it, just tell me. Just comment and be like, hey, I don't like this, or I like this. It really help me. I can change it, make the house look better, and it would help me become a better builder. And yeah. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll come back to you in a couple days with the interior of the house.